and the behaviour of certain individuals, it clearly falls below that of which society expects. I think it's incumbent on police leaders to support their officers who are charged with dealing with these type of incidents, to come out and call out that behaviour. And I mean, the example of which I relate this to was the recent Croydon bus incident matter, where it was clear that the lady in question behaved poorly. It's quite a reasonable expectation of society that if you travel on transport, London transport, on the buses, the trains, you know that if you are asked to produce a valid ticket for travel, you show that ticket. Had that happened in this case, there would have been no incident. And so it was the behaviour of the lady in question that instigated the whole matter.
Now, Rick Fryer also told me that officers were hesitating before getting involved with ethnic minority Londoners for fear of malicious and vexatious investigations being opened onto them, and that has led to this suspension last night from the Met's Foundation. Investigation by the Police Federation of England and Wales, which is the national body which represents some 130,000 officers across those countries. So it's a big moment, and lots of officers are angry about this move.
Is it likely that anyone in a senior position will come out publicly in his defence?
Well, I contacted the Met about this situation on Monday when I had the interview. They didn't want to pass comment, but we are seeing lots of retired officers speaking publicly about the senior retired officers, and also other Federation chairs. Richard Cook, who's chair of the West Midlands Police Federation, he told me last night that he was shocked and saddened by this move. PC Lee Broadbent, who was formerly chair of another region, Greater Manchester's Federation, he said it was a perverse decision. And also, funnily enough, I heard from a former criminal this morning who also thought that it was an extraordinary situation. He said that Rick Pryor was telling the truth. He told me that he met up recently with a still active gang member who told him that he makes sure that when he's distributing drugs, he uses black teenage boys that do it because he thinks they're less likely to be stopped because the police don't want those vexatious racism investigations.
That's an extraordinary claim, Charlie. But I do want to ask, it seems as though perhaps some people want to make an example out of Rick Pryor because he spoke to the media, because he gave you that interview, because we showed it here on GB News. Do you think there's a sort of censorious, even if he's reinstated, he's been firmly wrapped on the knuckles, and perhaps more than that, more people in senior positions throughout the Police Federation and everything else will be more wary about speaking to journalists?
Tom, there's no doubt in my mind that this suspension and investigation will have a chilling effect on the confidence that police officers feel that they can express their concerns to their federation chairs. The Met is the largest force in England and Wales. It's the largest federation as well. If they can go after Rick Pryor and suspend him and investigate him for being supposedly discriminatory, for telling what he says is the views and the fears of those he's there to represent, then smaller organisations within that professional federation, that police federation, will undoubtedly feel the concern that they can't raise those concerns as well. It starts here, but it might lead lesser concerns, less controversial issues to remain hidden, and police officers not to get the representation that they need.
Yeah, people do need to feel free to be able to voice concerns and voice their experiences. Otherwise, people will just censor themselves constantly. Yeah. Thank you very much indeed, Charlie, for bringing us that story. Charlie Peters on